Oh boy, you won't believe what I got here. This one is a CASIO CT-S410 keyboard, released back in 2021. And this one is using the Revival Casio Tone series, which they have introduced way back when Casio made musical keyboards. It started off as Casio Tone. And they stopped that for a really long time, and now in 2019, they brought it back. So Casio Tone series is now back up and running again. Now, this keyboard, I will say, is technically based on their flagship CT-X-3000, so to say. I don't want to say CT-X-5000, because that's maybe more related to the CT-S500, which I'll explain another time. This one is something that I would really want to upgrade from my CTK-2000, as it was kind of restricted. You saw me, I owned a CTK-2000, and now I got a CT-S410. Now, there are two other keyboards that are in this range. Technically, the other one is the CT-S400, which is technically what this one technically is. And the other one is the lighted key version, which is the LK-S450, which is mainly more for advanced beginners. So, this one has the specialized sound source that's on their Casio's recent flagship keyboards, and that is the Acoustic, Intelligent, and Expression sound source, or for short, AIX. Most of the tones that are on this keyboard is a lot, and I mean a lot more powerful and a lot more advanced and more realistic. This has so many features that I'm glad I managed to acquire. You can see that the box is not really in like that good condition, as you can see right there. But wow, glad I got one to move on from my CTK-2000. Whew. Well, I should now go ahead and open this keyboard up now. Take it out of the box, see what lurks inside. Alright, first I'll do the keyboard. This here. Okay, so lower it down. Take these tabs, hold them up. This part raises upwards. This side also. RJM. So, here we go. What this is the AC adapter that is the right polarity, and it needs it for this keyboard. This part here looks like it's a lot, but what this is mainly this one, is it? You can slide out this way. It's the part of the warranty info and the owner's manual, as well as this keyboard's music rest. Got that. And of course, the Big Daddy itself, the keyboard. Take out this foamer. Turn it around. Keyboard's there, out in full glory. Now we'll move this piece of tape that is on the keyboard. Okay. Guys, here did this just to make sure that everything is safe and glory. And here it is. CT-S410 keyboard now fully unboxed. Now let's move to the stand. So, on first glance, we take a look at what's all inside. I took everything out of the packaging, and here's what we get. Obviously, we got the keyboard, CT-S410. That's the specific power supply that it needs. It needs to have this one specific. This is the music rest, which fits on the back of the keyboard. There are holes at the back where this can slot into. These are the quick start guides in both English, Spanish, and French. Unfortunately, they left out the Brazilian Portuguese version of this. And this one is the Read This. Explains everything in all languages. So one part is actually English. This one is the warranty info. It's definitely essential. Definitely need to keep this. And we have this plastic bag with these rubber washers. It does have one good use for this, and it's something that if you want to use the keyboard with. And that's all you get in the box. I also going to be using this. Now, this one does not come with the keyboard. This is something that you can get separate. This one is an M Audio / M Gear SP-2 Universal Sustain Pedal. This one has a switch underneath that changes the polarity to be normally open or normally closed. Of course, some companies don't use the same polarity. It's always one or the other. This one is not new. I actually had this for a few years now, and it's been serving me very well. So I'll be using this on the keyboard. This here is the stand. Now, the stand is going to be very specific. This is actually not really my stand. This was actually given to me by my aunt. It was my my aunt's brother. He didn't want this anymore, so they given it to me as a birthday present. So yeah. But the thing is about the stand is that this one unfortunately has a very, very bad leg. It's this one here. This one unfortunately has a bent bit of metal. Is unfortunately bent, which makes the keyboard stand a bit too wobbly like that. Because of that, I I'll have to get a brand new keyboard stand very soon. But it still holds up perfectly, it's just a lot more wobbly. So, let's begin. I'll take this part here, these three parts, this screw with the washer, and this part here. I'll place it in the front, in the top portion. Turn it around. Screw that in. I don't want it too tight, so I do want it to move around far easily. Okay. Now for these, make sure you have them in the opposite direction. Of one goes one way, the other goes on that way, because one has to go on the left side, the other one has to go on the right side. With this stand, it has to have this fabric right here in order for it to stay in place. And it's actually very strong, as you can see. I would connect one of these to both ends of the top handles. So, now I'll screw in the bottom parts. Making sure that one's facing up and one's facing down, because one has to go on the left side and the other one has to go on the right side. So let me see. Okay. So I think memory serves me right. It should be like this. The screw part goes in like this. Move that in a bit. And with this, screw in this. Now, the other leg. This is the one that unfortunately has the bent metal. And I'll show you why I'm going to replace this one. Oh gosh. Okay, this is so hard. Okay, I got it in, but look how lopsided this is. Unfortunately, it makes the keyboard stand, as you can see, not well stable because that's bent. So that's why I'm in the process of getting a brand new one. Okay, so just like the bottom parts, now I need to do the top parts. Okay, good. Goes on the left, goes on the right. This could be tricky, so I'll do this off screen. Okay, now that I got my keyboard stand ready, I can now safely put the keyboard on it. So it will look like this. Oh, very professional if you ask me. I got the power supply hooked up to the keyboard now. So hook it up, go on the back here, and look for this part here. DC 9.5 volts. So it connects to here, ready to go. For the optional sustain pedal, I'm using a universal one, my M Gear / M Audio. I did set it to the right polarity. I'll take this 1/4-inch jack, plug it right here when it says pedal. That's what you want to connect it to. If you want to use the headphones so you can listen to music to yourself, the port is right here. This port right here. And you can also use this for external speakers if you want to, but keep in mind that the internal speakers will be turned off. This is the music rest. This part here is entirely plastic, but the rim around it is metal. There are 2 holes at the back of the keyboard that can connect this to. Sort of like this. Raise it up. There you have it. It's now ready to play music. And with all that said, it is finally hooked up and ready for me to play and experience for myself. Now, I'm going to leave this video here. I will do another video of me going through all this and see how this thing works. At the moment, I need to go through my head around, get through the functions, and go through the sounds, see how they go and how they work. So, this is all I'm going to do for now. I'll see you in the next video to see my experience of how the sounds work.